Hey guys, this is Gospel Musicians coming at you, and we got our new plug-in sample library coming out. We call it the Talkbox Junior. Once again, reason why we called it the Junior is because you can't use your own words to form the Talkbox sound. What we do, though, we have a lot of vowels and syllables and stuff for you to do that you can get a lot of good usage out of it. So that's why we called it the Junior. We do have plans to have a Senior coming out. So this is a Talkbox Junior, and let's just go over this interface. Once again, one of the things we really love about UVI is their awesome interface, right? So that's one thing we love about UVI is the officer interface. So the way we have this set up, all of your navigation buttons are up here. So you got your main, this is all of your control section. This is your effects. This is the spark reverb. This is the ARP, the arpeggiator, and we also added a gate with the arpeggiator. And then this is your master section. You have to have a master section when you have a Talkbox because the compressor and the mastering, to really get that level up there to sound like a real Talkbox sound, that's where you get. So let's go back to the main. All right, let's start from left, and we're just going to go over this. Now what this is the amplitude. This amplitude section right here. This allows you to just control how the sound is generated over time, how the volume reacts over time. So obviously if we push all these down, you're not going to hear anything. But if you let the decay. So that's how. Alright, so what we do, we just kick this decay up for a Talkbox type sound. We change the attack. These words mean attack, decay, sustain, release. We take the attack up because you get popping if it's really, so you get that popping, so we take that attack up a little bit, and we take the release up just a little bit, just enough to mask those pops, so you get no pops now. Alright, so these are pretty standard. We're going to have this on all of our plugins. This is the velocity amount. This is the velocity sensitivity. What the velocity amount is how this reacts to, so let's just take these all the way down here. So if I hit it, harder I hit it, the more the volume. But obviously this is a synth type sound, so you want to kick this all the way up. So, so these two kind of work together. This is almost like a velocity curve type of thing where it reacts. The harder you hit it, the more of a reaction that you get. It's more sensitive towards the velocity. So you could hit it just a little bit, or you could hit it a lot. So let's turn this all the way down. All right, I'm barely hitting it. All right, now let's turn this all the way up. Gives me more velocity. So you can work between those two. You're not going to need these a lot on this particular synth because most of the stuff is lead stuff, so we just kind of keep it cranked up. All right, this right here is your general section, and this is your volume. Now this is very important, all right, and I'm going to show you why. This start time, this determines where in the sample it starts. So for example, this la-la, all right, let's take this la-la. Look how slower this la-la is because this is natural. Now if we take this start time up a little bit, now you see you can start la better so that if you really want to time it. So if I'm doing something, see how long that la did? So if you want everything to be kind of a little close so you can play it faster, you take this up about here. Let's see, even a little more. So you take it about right there. Make sure that when you're using the start, you also have your amplitude not at 0 because you get clicks. So between this and this, you take your la up. Alright, so this is the cutoff right here. This gives you, let's go back to our, this is the raw buzz sound of the Talkbox without anything. This is mouth on the Talkbox. You can hear the spit. So that's just a raw buzz sound of the Talkbox. All right, so this cutoff frequency, and then this, let's go to the raw sound. So this cutoff frequency it gives you an instant filter. This tone is pretty cool. This can going to the left, it transfer you to a little a dark robot, and then tight it gives you a chipmunk. So watch this. Sounds better on the actual. Let's go to a Wii. See how it sounds, chipmunk? And then let's go low. And then if you want to be really creative, you right click and you use your mod wheel right here. And Alright, so let's clear that just to be silly. Alright, so here's your octave here. You can. Oh, let's take this back up to 0. And if your octave is not low or high enough, you can put the value in. So you can put -2 right there. You can go +2 right there. So you can take your octave up. You can change these values just by double clicking. So now here's the most important, one of the most important, the glide function right here. These glide functions are very, very important. So let's start from bare bones, polyphonic. So that's polyphonic. Now you can go polyportamento. Let's turn this up to over exaggerate it. Alright, so that's the polyportamento. And then we have mono retriggering. It retriggers and it doesn't do the slide and the glide. Now this is what you want on the Talkbox. You want the mono portamento. Portamento 1 basically means that your portamento is going to only use the portamento when you play it legato. So that's the sound you're looking for. Take it down to about right here. Now the problem with this mono portamento 2, it always does it. It always does the portamento no matter if you hit it legato or not. So it's gonna always do it. So what we do, for a Talkbox sound, you do mono portamento 1. Now the problem with the classic mode is this is based off of pitch shifting. And because the Talkbox is a formant type of sound, meaning it's dealing with kind of the voice in a sense, pitch shifting and voice in the formant goes off. So watch this. I'm going to hit this. When I hit this high octave, it just totally pitch shifts off and it doesn't do it. So we have another algorithm that we did and we call this the DX100 mode. Could be, as you can see, this interface is mimicking a DX100, a Yamaha DX100. So that's what the standard is to play your Talkbox through. So this is the mimicking the DX100. So in DX100 mode, you can do those shifts and it sounds natural. Let's turn it up a little bit. So it doesn't do that pitch shifting thing. So when you're dealing with the Talkbox mode, this is the mode we use. We use mono portamento in the DX100 mode. And so then we have this thing called a fade mode. You can fade between the notes. So let's take this all the way up to over exaggerated. And then if it's a very subtle. So it allows you to use the fade. Now watch this. Gives you more of a fade in. Let's go to our ooh, because that's one of our. All right, so and then what we have here is we have a sub oscillator. So if you want to turn this Talkbox into a synth, you can throw this, take it down, -2, -1. I just took a Talkbox sound, a vowel sound, and I transferred it into a synth just by taking it down an octave and doing the sub oscillator. And then we have this octo that. So you can turn it into a Talkbox synth, so to speak. So one of the things we wanted to do is to make sure that, you know, that this wasn't just a Talkbox. We wanted to turn it into a synth. All right. So, and then let's take the sub off. So there we go. So let's take this back up. Now, the modulation wheels, you can choose what you want to modulate. Obviously the LFO, and we can kick this up a little bit. Change the depth, the speed. And the cool thing about it, if you want to get some crazy stuff, you can change the LFO shape. So that's kind of. See, the thing just because the Talkbox been around back with, you know, Roger Troutman in those days, we don't want to just do the same thing. We want to take it to another level. This is 2013, and we want to take it to 2013 technology. So the cool thing about it is that we're elevating some of the sounds to another level, the stuff that you wouldn't be able to do normally, okay? So then we can do vibrato, the panning, and remember it's reactive towards the pitch bend. So yeah, so there you go, right there. It reacts to the pitch bend, and then we can let's do the filter now. The cutoff and resonance. Now let me choose another. Let me choose some other stuff here. Let's go to our synth and sounds. Let's go lead, and let's do a. Make sure we choose the wave table. All right. Alright, so called this Raj box. So let me show you some stuff. Let's take it down an octave. Yeah, there we go. Now let's take it now. You'll notice some new synthesis here. and I'll get back to that later. So before I get to this filter here, I want to get to this right here, the cutoff. Now this is the cutoff, the resonance and the depth and stuff like that. So you have to turn it on. So let's just do something. Let's make a Now the key to this whole thing is this envelope depth. You move it, this is a bipolar, so if you move it to the left, it determines how much is open. You move it to the right, it opens everything all up, okay? So it opens it all up depending on this this envelope shape. So see, it opens it up. Let's take this cutoff. Let's add some resonance so we can really. So add some resonance in there, and it opens it up. Let's add a sub oscillator just to. All right, so that's how it opens up. So that's that resonance. Let's take the resonance all the way. Yeah, there we go. And so so that's what. And then this is a drive, just in case you need a little more. All right, so that's how the resonance goes, and we take it all the way down. And see, it's all the way open here. And it's making that sound depending on how this envelope is. That's how I like to make a funky one. I use a little shape like this, and to make it. Now what you can do with the mod wheel, you go filter, and this is contingent upon this. So these two, when you hit filter, these two work in tandem. So let's take the let's take this all the way up. All right. Now we're working with the cutoff frequency with the mod wheel. Notice I'm opening. I took the envelope all the way up to open it all the way up. So here, now I'm opening it all the way up. So depending on where it starts. Now this is a bipolar, so left it goes the opposite way. It goes from it cut, and then if we go all the way right, it opens it all the way up. And so we moved it to the left, so it gives you. All right. So let's keep it all the way to the left. In the resonance, let's take it all the way here. That opens it all the way up. And let's take this here. See, it's all the way. See, it's all the way up. Now take it all the way down. So these two react towards each other. All right. So and then if I take it this way, the opposite way. Sorry, take this the opposite way. When I go backwards. So these are bipolar. So one opens and one closes. And so that's why they have the bipolar look right there. So you work both of these together and it's looking good. All right. So that's this. And now the final, the LFO, this is a low frequency oscillator. That's what it's called. We basically, this is our oscillator that we can just vibrate. So take the depth up. That's the rate. Now the delay allows you to delay between the time that it starts. So watch this. So it lets you wait a little bit. So 1,000 to 1,000. All right, so the delay allows you to delay. The key scaling allows you to do it per the velocity. So right here, the lower notes will trigger it, but the higher notes won't. The lower notes actually trigger more. But if I play the higher notes, it doesn't. So if I play the higher notes here, so it triggers it more. But then when I do the lower notes, so notice the lower notes aren't doing it at all. But then when I do this, the lower notes does it. And then the higher notes barely do. But then if I do it all the way up here, see, that's how that works. All right, and then this is the velocity. So it depends on the velocity. So let me hit it right here. So this is the lower the velocity. So if I hit it soft, it does it. But if I hit it hard, it doesn't. Now this is bipolar. So here's the opposite. If I hit it, now here, if I hit it hard, it does it. But if I hit it slow, it doesn't. So this is interface is trying to mimic as much as possible your main bread and butter synth parts. Now this right here, this is what we call this is the synthesis part of it. This is the coolest part. So basically what I did, I took a snapshot of some of the Talkbox sounds and I turned it into a synthesis. Synthesis is great. All right. So what you get here, you get basically, you could turn a static sample into an actual synth. And so what you get here, you get a detune, a spread, a stereo, pulse width modulation, and phase. Let me show you how cool this thing is. So this PWM, pulse width modulation, this changes the pulse width, obviously. So watch this. So basically, out of one sound, I can get over 200, 300 sounds just by changing this. Now this is cool. If you want to fatten something up, you change the detune and spread. And you just slide and slide. Now with this, I can use the classic mode with the synthesis because this is not a sample. This is actually turned into what is called a wave table, which is a mirror, almost a mirror of a digital synth. So you take a sine wave and a saw wave. I turn the actual samples, quote unquote, into a waveform. Let's go back to this velocity and change this depth up. So this is what's so cool about the synthesis part. So that's what's so cool about this. All right. So this is not just, like we said, just a Talkbox sample library. This is a fully grown, fully blown synth that you can do some crazy. I tried to use all the sounds from that classic 90s, but then I upgraded. So there we go. So let's move on to the effects. All right. So these effects, let's take some of this off so you'll be able to hear the actual effects without being disturbed. All right, so the effects here. Obviously, you got your flanger. You got a nice, this is an analog chorus. This is pretty cool if you wanna, I like this to add this. I like this chorus part. This is a drive. Stereo spreader. Now, if you have a preset that you like and you want to change it a certain way, you hit the save and it overwrites over this. All right, so you can save your presets here. You can call up your presets. This is one of our favorite, 8 mile ping pong delay. We love this. We love that right there, actually. And then we have our crossfaser. So that's some cool stuff right there. Then they added this. This is what we love about UVI. They upgrade stuff so fast for us, and we're spoiled. I mean, nowhere that we know of where a developer just continues updating stuff as fast as they do. We've been asking for a real good auto whiner. Look at that. That's some cool stuff. And then you just got to straight up crunch. What we love here is this trash knob. Just add some crazy trash into it. All right, so that's cool right there. And then one of our favorites, the spark verb and shimmer. This shimmer is shimmery shimmer. Now we're gonna really show you this shimmer on another patch here. Let's load another patch to show you this. Let's load multi. Let's go to synths. Let's go to what do we want to go to? Actually, let's load this. Let's load this right here. This will really show some of the stuff that you can do. Let's turn this gate off right now, and let's just go to the spark. Listen to that shimmery. Listen at the end. We'll turn it way up. You hear that, man? That is absolutely ridiculous. When you're playing a synth patch, look at that. Let's just turn it all the way up to over-exaggerated. Ah, that is so beautiful. That's ridiculous, man. So that sounds good. All right, so, and then we have the ARP, which we added a gate to it. And let me let you hear how that sounds. So the smoothing lets it smooth out. That's awesome there. That is so awesome. So we added that. We added once again, we're not going to just do the same thing that they did in the 90s. We're going to take what they did in the 90s and take it to another level. Okay, so now let's move on to the master section. The master section is very critical when it comes to a talk box, and let's see if we can choose. Now each one of these, and we missed this, each one of these is broken up into different sections. So we have let's look at what we have. We have bass, we have lead, we have organ, we have synths, and within there we let you choose between the patches so you don't have to keep loading. Okay, so let's go back to the actual vowel sounds. All right, so that's default. So we go to the actual vowel sounds there. So, all right, so we let you choose between all of the vowel sounds on the drop down right there, or you can choose the arrows. All right, so that raw buzz is. So yeah, we like that raw buzz because you can turn this into a nice. Spitting, that's just a raw sound there. All right, so let's go back to this master. The master is very key because let's do a O. Let's do a O. And let's turn all this stuff off. All right. This is what it sounds like off. So we went back and we left this off, and we realized, we talked to Byron Chambers, and we talked to some mixers on how they really mix that crisp sound. And to get that crisp sound, the first thing you do is you build up the highs right here. You take up the highs and you make it almost a U shape, but these highs are very. So that gives you that sound, that gives you that high-pitched sound. But the cool thing is that this compressor gate, and we use firm grip, and it allows you to. It gives you that. Now you combine that compressor gate, the gate basically it enhances. It's not just a booster, it boosts up certain frequencies, and when we use this makeup gain, it gives you that gain, but we don't want to kick it too much because we got a mastering coming. So we use Master Pro, and we kick that in, and between that, it gives you this nice. It gives you that crisp sound. Now what we like to do, I'm showing you our secrets. We turn this spark verb on with the shimmery. We go to effects, we turn our ping pong delay on, and we go 8 mile right there, and then we get a little chorus. We use the chorus deluxe, we kick it there, and we could use a drive, but I'm gonna just leave it right there. I do a really wide stereo, just more stereo, and this is what you get. A little too much chorus, and I need more shimmer. So let's turn this up a little bit. Woo! And it's just beautiful. So that's the interface, guys. I like to do a walkthrough of the interface because I can't stand making manuals. So I figure I let the video be the manual. If you have any questions, let me know. A lot of these synth functions you would have to learn about too. If you don't know synthesis, they're pretty standard, but this is a remarkable unit, And this is hopefully this is enough for you to get started. All right. So this is Gospel Musicians coming at you with a tutorial and overview of the interface.